Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our second game in this best of two series underway. Vici versus Dreamtime. We had a little bit of a gap getting this match set up, and we're in it nonetheless. I'm Zyori, and I will be solo casting once again. Vici versus DT. Now, in game number one, we saw Vici just kind of take control of the game. It was kind of back and forth early on. And, it wasn't one of those games where there was a big cataclysmic faux pas where one team ran into the Roche pit and got wiped up or dove into the towers. It was just sort of this slow and steady Vici getting the better of Dreamtime. They were finding slightly better engagements, finding slightly better pickoffs, and then 25, 30 minutes into the game, Dreamtime are left with this core of heroes that were not particularly farmed, and well, it was pretty much just Nature's Prophet, the big breadwinner for the team, and he tried his hardest, but he couldn't carry them all to victory. So, like I said, I'm slated to solo cast. Here we've got another best of two coming up after this. I'm trying to conserve at least a little bit of energy. I would be lying if I said I was feeling at full force. These back-to-back-to-back nights of late-night WPC Asian Dota casting have been awesomely amazing, but also a little bit draining, and today's just been a weird day. Like, game one was really exciting, then we had that long break between game one and two, so I was hoping to, like, get a little break and get some food, and I've just kind of been nibbling and not managing my caffeine well, and hashtag Sleepy Ori here for game two in this series. Let's talk about this draft a little bit here, though, and let's see. Nature's Prophet Rubik picked up by DT, and Centaur and Sand King, the first two choices for Vici Gaming. Nothing really too crazy to report about it. Centaur and Sand King. Trying to remember the last game, and I've already forgotten. Who picked? Didn't somebody place? Wasn't it? No, they first picked the Nature's Prophet and then Sand King, so it's a little bit different. Same spread of heroes, but across the board a little different here. Oh yeah, super cheesing. Look at him, smiley man over there. Smiley Riley. I like the Vici little like track jackets. They're pretty cool. I got this. I like the way their little jerseys look, though. Some teams I really like the way their uniforms look, and other teams I absolutely hate them. Vici, they're somewhere in the middle. I like them. You know who I really don't like, though? I don't like the DK coats. Well, well, they have the T-shirts and they wear the little coat things over them. The red. I mean, they're not really coats, but they're like the little over. Yeah, they're. I'm not a big fan. I don't like the LGD. I don't like ones that have a big zipper in the front. I'm not a fan of zippers in general. So I don't know. I really like the Fnatic jerseys. I think those are pretty badass. But yeah, I like the Vici ones. I like the green. I like the green mixed in. Yeah, oh god, my headset's falling off my head here. What the hell? Yeah. What the fuck is going on with this headset? So this time Ancient Apparition will be banned out, and Visage as well. Yeah, Visage just got banned out, and yeah, the AA Mirana banned by Dreamtime. Not a very telling draft on either side, honestly. A split push from Nature's Prophet, Rubik, a pretty straightforward support, and Sand King, the support that everyone loves, mixed with the Centaur. Pretty predictable stuff. So Vici will pick Morphling with their third choice. Get a little bit of carry power on the field. I seem to like these drafts with Morphling a little bit better when they pair it with some sort of early pushing. If you can knock down a couple of early towers, it really helps out the Morphling. He gets that perseverance up, and you can kind of create some space for him after knocking down towers, and he can have a bit of a presence. Where Morphling seems to struggle is when he's just played like that straight hard carry, and they're a bit more passive. Yeah, so Vici actually really low on bonus time here. They've only got 6 seconds left. So they will have to think about this. Dreamtime, they will go ahead and second pick the Chen. Or, pardon me, third pick the Chen. So it looks like they're going to do a similar strat to last game with pushing here. Chen, Nature's Prophet. Get themselves some Necro books. Yeah, very comparable to last game. And Vici Gaming, they'll grab the Alchemist. Very interesting. Hard to gauge exactly how they're going to run this, but I reckon it'll be a mid-Alchemist. You really don't want a Sand King Alchemist double melee support duo. You can't really tri-lane with that. I guess they could roam around and try and gank, but most likely an Alchemist mid. And DT, they'll be right there with the response. The Luna will be their their fourth pick. So kind of a weird draft from Dreamtime. They have absolutely no disable except the telekinesis and whatever Chen can grab with the creeps. Yeah, they ban out the puck, or they will ban out the puck here from Vici. I think that's a smart play. They need a nice mid-tempo controller. Boker already banned out. They need a playmaker, someone to create some space for this Luna to farm. But I really worry for Dreamtime. They don't have very strong laners here. Every single one of them is just so susceptible to gank, and Vici have a lot of crowd controls between the Alchemist, Sand King, and the Centaur. If he gets basically whenever Centaur gets that blink, Dreamtime are going to be struggling so much. And we'll see what DT want a final ban here for Vici. They'll need a support of sorts. Rasta could still be an option. They've already banned out the Ancient Apparition. Visage has already been taken out of the pool as well. Couple of options here. They'll ban out the Enchantress. Something that Vici could have gone with would have been a nice aggressive hero to create some space for that Morphling. Definitely could have seen an Enchantress pick. But I think it's got to be a Shadow Shaman here. He would just work so well. Give him a little bit of that pushing power, like I was talking about, to synergize with the Morphling, and also he just has a lot of crowd controls. He's just an all-around solid hero, especially since they're on Dire as well. That makes Roche pretty easy, though. They already have the Alchemist Acid Spray. They don't really need it to secure early Roaches and whatnot, but he does make it even easier. Especially if they grab a pretty quick medallion as well. But Vici will switch it up, and they'll grab themselves the Crystal Maiden. Won't go for the Rasta. And CM pretty good here. The Aura will help out quite a bit. Very useful with the Centaur. Also great for the Alchemist in the mid. And not too bad for the Morphling. Just all in all, a good game for the Crystal Maiden. So Dreamtime, what do they need here to finish this roster off? They need some kind of a mid-hero. And again, someone that can create some space. Someone that can make room for Luna in this mid-game. Maybe even a semi-carry, since Luna is that hard carry. Yeah, Roland says DK, but no, they'll go with the Brewmaster. Interesting from Dreamtime. Now, Brew is kind of an odd hero right now. I think very underrated. His passive is unbelievable. The Drunken Baller, dodge, crit in one. It's even just that value point. It's ridiculous. 200% crit at level 1. Brew is one of these weird heroes that he either snowballs out of control or he gets snowballed out of control on. It's like every time I see a Brew, he either destroys the mid lane, gets an early blink, runs around, and it's like, wow, how do you stop this hero? And then other times I see him, he doesn't really farm that much, he doesn't get a fast blink, and then he just gets obliterated. It's kind of an odd hero. In the mid against Alchemist, that's actually not a matchup I've ever seen, I don't think. We see Alchemist so seldom and Brewmaster so seldom in this meta that, yeah, kind of a break even. And we'll see if that's even how they want to lane it here. We'll see this Centaur. He puts a sentry down, and they see it. Maybe they'll just try and counter the sentry. XDD, he'll come around the tree line here. Level 1 Lunar Blessing. ROTK hasn't skilled up anything quite yet. He'll just get harassed back to the tower. And let's get some Dota sounds in the mix here. Yeah, there we go. Dota. And Fenrir. All right, let's introduce our rosters here. We'll be Vici Gaming. They're up 1-0 in this best of 2 series. It will be Fenrir on the Crystal Maiden. ROTK will be on the Centaur, headed to the off lane. In the mid, it will be Super playing on the Alchemist, and that means up top. We'll have a bit of a tri-lane here in the safe lane. Sylar on the position 1 Morphling, and it will be FY on the support Sand King. Now on the Radiant side, we've got Team Dream Time. Dreamy U will be on the Rubik, camping out that double damage rune. XDD on the Luna here in the safe lane, and we'll see Super on this Chen, and he'll be jungling defensively here, starting on the Radiant side of the map. Air in the mid lane, playing on the Brewmaster, and it will be In July on the Nature's Prophet here in the off lane. So yeah, mid should be pretty much a wash. It's one of those, the Acid Spray does work into Alchemist's favor. It kind of pushes the lane a little bit, but it's hard for melee heroes to contest. It can even, yeah. Can even be a little bit difficult for ranged heroes, but melee, they're just forced to deal with that minus armor, and Alk can harass pretty effectively here, at least levels out the armor difference. Alk is sitting on only 1 base armor. Up top, In July, he does go boots first. Pretty standard off-lane Nature's Prophet stuff here, and he'll certainly need him. This is a pretty scary tri-lane. It just takes some kind of initiation, and they'll have plenty of follow-up to burst him down between everything from the CM, the Burrow Strike, and then the Waveform, and eventually the Adaptive Strike. Nature's Prophet will certainly have his work cut out for him. In the off lane, ROTK, yeah, he'll have his work cut out for him as well. DT's lineup's not nearly as scary. With Chen in the jungle, he doesn't have a ward down except for this sentry right here. So he doesn't really have much vision if Chen rotates in. You see him positioning himself so that he can get some vision in. Yep, he did salve up already. And, yeah, a little bit more difficult for ROTK. He's forced to play this a bit more passively just because he doesn't have eyes on that Chen. And he can't farm too easily. Meanwhile, in the mid, things still going pretty evenly. 7-7 versus the 6-1 Alk. So actually, Air getting quite a few denies racked up. Very interesting. No Drunken Haze, value point in Drunken Baller, and just leveling up the Thunderclap here. Who? No stats. Definitely 3rd skill. Why would you get stats on Brewmaster, dude? Brewmaster stats? I don't know about that. Yeah, that seems silly. Yeah. He'll go 2-0-2 here at level 4. In July, there was a potential gank coming his way, but they won't find the opening. And Sand King just moving around. He's cruising around the jungle, still only level 1. He does have a double stacked up already, and he'll stack it once more here. So FY can just sandstorm away in the jungle, do what that Sand King does best. No pressure on Chen. He's just jungling to his heart's content as well. He's picked himself up a Dark Troll Summoner, going to take out some Mud Golems. Already well on his way to level 4, and Chen will probably be the Met Carrier here for DT. On the Dire side, I think Alchemist is the one that's slated to grab it. He'll have a regeneration rune, and he's actually going to stun himself here in the mid lane. Puts down the Acid Spray, but unfortunately doesn't find the dive that he was looking for there. That's kind of just an odd channel in general. I'm not really sure what the game plan was. But yeah, everything pretty even for the most part. Luna as well as the Morphling. Then a few last hits of one another. Kind of very even. It's just a matter of where the creeps are pressed up. Sylar forced to fight under the tower, but great lane control for Vici. And Nature's Prophet will already have to rotate into the jungle. He won't have free reign to the jungle because there is Chen there, taking some of the hard camps. But realizing he can't do much in the off lane, at least he'll come down and get a little bit of experience. Super. Looking for a rune, but it will actually spawn top. So it will be that double damage. 4-man push down in the bottom lane. Chen and Nature's Prophet already looking to knock down a tower. They do have a Wild Wing Ripper. Will help zone them out. There's the telekinesis forward. Super will be the first blood. And DT will pick it up. Super killing Super there. Chen actually getting the bonus gold. ROTK taking a lot of damage as well. Lucent Beam, a couple of right clicks. They won't have the damage to finish him off. And this will probably be a pretty early tower kill. Already down to about half health. They'll have a fresh wave of creeps coming in, and
Radiant structures are fortified.
he's just way back, and he'll have
Radiant's
creeps up in
top
about
tower
8
is
seconds.
under
Meanwhile, up
attack.
top, they'll pressure this
Dire's
tower as well.
bottom
They'll
tower
cut
is
the
under attack.
wave in half. They've got a siege creep, and looks like Nature's Prophet will port up to the lane. He wants to try and intercept the upcoming creeps, so he'll pull all the aggro off the tower. But Morphling can waveform and clear up these creeps as well. First tower has actually not gone
Radiant's
down.
top
They'll
tower
defend
is
this
under
bottom.
attack.
And, okay, looks like we could see an engagement break out. Nature's Prophet will TP to the tier 2 tower, and no. Vici just come out ahead. They'll be the ones to grab the tier 1 tower kill, and they'll defend their own.
Radiant's
So, very
top
nicely
tower
done,
has
but it
been
is denied by In July. Even more nicely done, I suppose, but still, Vici are the ones that come out ahead there. And, just overall handle themselves well, except for Super, getting caught a little bit off guard. And, oh, boy. Moving into a pause, hopefully just a quick one here. WPC has been plagued with connection issues today. I'm not sure what the problem's been, but yeah, it looks like Alliance versus Empire is about to get underway. Big matchup here for Star Ladder. Elimination is on the line, and oh, we'll resume. And uh-oh, Super's in some trouble in the mid lane. Ultimate from the Brewmaster. Port coming in. ROTK, not going to be able to save his good buddy. A little bit of time left on the Spirits. They're going to have full health, and he'll come back. So Super, he's going to be 0-2 to get things started here, and underestimating the power of the Brewmaster a little bit. Good use of the Primal Split. And glancing at the gold graph, DT actually with a nice little lead. About 1,000 gold, 2,500 experience. And they're the ones at the tower disadvantage. So they will rotate down bottom, and this should be a pretty easy tower push at this point. They might even be able to find another kill onto Super here. Shen wrapped around, In July porting in. And they'll go ahead and just summon creeps. They might not get a kill on Super, but they will find this tower. Channeling the concoction, connects onto In July. Lucent Beam, they don't finish off the tower. XDD actually in some trouble. There's the waveform forward. He falls, and yeah, Channel actually finished it off from around the backside. And now Air coming in. No ultimate available here. He needs to be a little careful. He doesn't have that escape mechanism. Thunderclap. Sylar off the mark with the waveform. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Centaur and Chen kind of going at it. Only a level 3 Centaur. 1-1-1 build. So it brings the courier in. Those are his Tranquils. And basically just scouting it out. Super does not have a TP scroll. He may be able to scoot out through the tower. This is rough. There's just nowhere to go here for Super. He just has no escape route. Yeah, he'll just commit to it. He'll try and die to the tower, but I think ROTK is going to get this one. Yep, there it is. Nicely done by the Centaur. Saves it for the last hit. And Vici will level it out here. They did lose their bottom tier 1 tower. Chen wrapped around and finished it off, but still, that will level things at least a bit. DT, furthering their gold lead, but experience will take a bit of a nosedive. Morphling already getting involved, going for a slightly different build, has himself Aquila and Power Treads with that magic wand, not going for the super fast Lincolns like Brown Boost into Perseverance, and gives him a little bit more map presence, which did come in handy down here. Luna now level 6, and with Power Treads online, no Hand of Midas, not that super greedy Luna build or anything like that. Brewmaster well on his way to a fast blink though. He's on Brown Boot, 1,600 gold, will bottle up this double damage rune. And that's where Brew can start to get scary. If he gets that early blink, kind of a similar role to that Centaur. Just a tempo controller, hops around, and solid initiation. Let's see here. Yeah, both more of a passive game. We've seen some more bloodbathy games this evening, but this one definitely more on the passive side of things. Morphling still number 1 on the net worth chart, but not by much. Super will actually overtake him here. The Brewmaster Super, that is. They're kind of going blow for blow. They will smoke up in the Radiant jungle. They being Air and Dreamy U. See where they go here. Double damage on the Brewmaster might open up some possibilities for him. Looks like they've got the Centaur setting their sights. I think ROTK is in big trouble here. And smoke will be unsuccessful. Air still a little ways off. This is that time when I think you just need to be farming that blink dagger. Not an ideal time to smoke up. Even if I could have gotten the kill here, wouldn't have been enough to get the blink. And just kind of an awkward timing. Looks like they will try and transition to a push. Centaur as well as Wild Wing Ripper for the Chen. And this tower will start taking some heavy damage, but Vici, they'll have a 4-man rotation. They'll be smoked up. Super opens up with the unstable concoction. There's the all-heal from Chen. A lot of damage coming out. Sand King, he'll be the first to fall. Sylar, he's in big trouble as well, trying to morph the strength, but it's just not enough. Vici will get completely cleaned up here. Alchemist without an escape method. Does have the ultimate on for just a few more seconds, but he just can't handle the damage. That will be a 4-for-0. Double kill coming out for air. And I think DT will be able to push a tower out of this as well. There is a glyph for Vici. Maybe can still make a hold. They'll burn the glyph. Now the double damage comes out for air. And yeah, this tower will just fall. So all of a sudden, DT with a huge burst of momentum. Over a 3,000 gold lead. Just about 3,000 experience here at the 10-minute mark. Yeah, they will retreat. They've got the carry edge in this game as well. Centaur almost stopping that port, but there's the Blink Dagger out on the Brewmaster. And Nature's Prophet, he's picked up his Hand of Midas. That will be the first Midas on the field this game, and will give DT a bit of a farming advantage. Shen very close to the mech, well, pretty close to the mech. Has the buckler and headdress, and just pulling up for the recipe. Yeah, Centaur still really far off this blink. Only 900 gold. It's the 11-minute mark, and that's the big disparity. A huge edge for DT now that Brewmaster can be blinking around. Yeah, Centaur's net worth is pretty lackluster here. The thing about Brewmaster, and most importantly, especially at these early levels, is that Primal Split has such a long cooldown. So you kind of just have to be a little more defensive when he doesn't have it, but when you have that Primal Split, boy, can you get aggressive. And Luna will just now go Power Treads into Drums, getting a nice mid-game focused build. No greedy Hand of Midas, no early Helm of the Dominator. They should probably start stacking these Ancients, though. Luna, as always, a hero that makes good use of Ancient stacks, and something that DT could be doing a little bit better this game. At these early tower kills, giving them a nice little gold boost here. And Mech is up for the Chen. ROTK just farming away in the mid lane. Any other items up on the dire side? Morphling? Nope, only has 500 gold. Still very far away from Lincoln's. Sand King actually has 2,000, so he's level 6. May just go straight for a Blink Dagger. Hard to pull it off with just a Blink and Brown Boots without the Arcanes, but possible. And sometimes it's nice just to have that Blink, so you know you have it. And you don't have to worry about dying quite as much. When you're pulling up that gold, you really don't want to die. You don't want to slow down that Blink timing. We'll see DT continue to pressure these towers. They'll just rotate up top, and in July, already chipping away at it with these Treants. No glyph for Vici. And they won't even make a defense. They'll just do a 5-man push into the mid lane and try and make it a tower-for-tower exchange. But they'll lose the race. Top tier 1 falls. Glyph available for the Radiant. They could glyph it in port. Air comes in. That's some keen initiation. Primal Split forces out the Stampede. And they'll catch the Alchemist. Oh, he got sent back. Okay. Yep. Alchemist now has an invisibility rune. Kind of an awkward exchange there, but I thought he got sent back by the Chen, but it's just fine. Yeah, Tornado actually helped out the Alchemist a little bit there, but still, DT once again, they finish off a tower and they defend their own. Their last 2 remaining tier 1s are actually, no, their bottom has quite a bit of hit points. Their tier 1 did take a lot of damage, but they still find a cost-effective exchange. Now about a 7,500 gold lead, only 3,000 experience, but I say only. Pretty darn good for 13 minutes in. There's the Blink Dagger on the Sand King, so it is something for Vici. Only level 6, though, and still, well, can make big plays with that Epicenter. Always a big item on the Sand King, but not too scary at this particular juncture. Alchemist with the Buckler. We'll have, nope, not the rest of the mech coming out anytime soon. So that's another big disparity. I think this is that window for DT. This is when they continue to stay aggressive. Keep knocking down these towers, force some fights. Between the Blink on Brew, the mech on Shen, and just everything else they've got at their disposal, I think this is when they can really punish Vici falling behind in this early game. But they'll give Alchemist a little bit of room to farm. And, pardon me, more importantly, they'll give this Morphling room to farm. He's now sitting at 1,600 gold. And I want to say that he's just going to go the standard Lincolns into... Whoops. Yeah, go standard Lincolns, but maybe not. He could just go straight into the Ethereal Blade. Kind of an interesting Morphling build. It's not very often you see this kind of like early fighter morph strategy. So we'll see how he transitions out of it. DT, they'll go smoked up, rotating towards the mid lane. And maybe they can find a gank here. They'll put a sentry down. They're suspicious. And I don't know how successful this will be. Observer ward comes down right next to the sentry. That's just straight unlucky. Maybe they just anticipated. But here we go. Stampede forward. Super does throw the concoction. That'll be enough to finish off the Lunar to start this off, but it will cost the Alchemist his life. Primal Split comes out. ROTK in a bit of trouble. Throws the Hoof Stomp, but it won't be enough to keep him alive. And Sylar stuck in. Oh, yeah, the replicate. Sylar stuck inside the Sprout, but can just waveform out. It will be a 1-for-2. They lose their Luna, but still they finish off 2 core heroes from Vici. Force out the Glyph, and they'll still be able to finish off this tower. 3 Chen Creeps, 2 Centaurs, and a Hellbear. The ward does get picked off. And Sylar, he'll actually waveform forward. They're just not in a position to capitalize on it. So that'll level things a little bit more. Vici actually making a decent hold. Still not the best exchange, but they keep their tower alive. Of course, it did cost them the Glyph. And DT, they won't back out. They'll just continue on. Well, maybe not. Nature's Prophet. Yep, he ports back to the mid lane. Now without the Glyph, I think they know this is a pretty easy push. Luna only level 10. Doesn't have the BKB up quite yet, so still a pretty easy kill. Tower being slow sieged here. Sylar taking some pretty hefty damage. Now ROTK coming in. Double stun from the Sand King. They'll get a kill on the Crystal Maiden to start things off. ROTK taking heavy damage as well. Sylar low, but he will morph strength. Triple kill for In July. Oh no, a bloody disaster. That'll be a 5-for-0 coming out in favor of DT. They get the tier 1 tower and they will press forward into the tier 2. Dream time. And big Brewmaster crits coming out there as well. Now this tier 2 tower, it's going to fall. There's nothing that Vici can do about it. And this is looking like it could be a quick 1-1 series here. DT are just, yeah, Vici looking a little bit distraught here. DT just running over him. Their pushing strat seems to be just a bit too potent. And now this Brewmaster's picked up some really serious momentum. He'll have an Ag Scepter in just about 1,000 gold after they take out this tower. Even less than that. He gets the last hit on the tower. So 600 gold away from the Ag Scepter. And boy, is that scary. This is when Brew snowballs out of control. Blink Ags by like the 20-minute mark is just ridiculous. Yeah, Brew is just going to become almost impossible to deal with. Vici just don't have anything to tango with him. Alchemist still very far off the mech. Super has just been shut down so hard this game. 1-5-1. All they have are Blink Daggers. They've got one on the Centaur, one on the Sand King. And it looks like Morphling will be going the shotgun, but all he has is a Ghost Scepter. I mean, he's not even close to finishing it up. And DT, I mean, they've got a bloody Necro 3 on this level 11 Nature's Prophet. And Rubik will have a 4-staff soon, and Luna not too far away from that Black King bar. 1,200 in savings. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out for Sylar. I mean, the E-Blade will help. It'll give him the shotgun and give him the power to pick off these squishy supports, but Rubik is pretty much the only one he's going to be able to shotgun down. Chen, or the Chen. Chen will get obliterated, but yeah, Chen has the mech, so he can probably deal with it. Brew, forget about it. The Nature's Prophet, maybe if he catches him, but it won't be easy, and Luna, definitely not. I'll just move right into Roche.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
and this will be a free uncontested Roche. There's the BKB out on Luna. Looks like it was hiding on the courier there, and she'll finish it up. And she's not even in the Roche pit here. Roche falls, and the Aegis they might just give it to the Brew. He's got 2 TP scrolls. And yeah, there you go. He'll grab the Aegis. Meanwhile, down bottom here, looking for initiation. They will find Fenrir, and they'll also get the kill on Sand King. Now Crystal Maiden falls. BKB popped by Luna. That'll be an easy 2-0. Super just ports home, but damage has been done. DT 15-3. Air, Haste Rune. Yeah, he won't be able to do a hell of a lot here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's 50 gold from the Ag Scepter. What is Kale? Gem? Oh, the computer's jammed. What is going on with these WPC computers, man? They're having some serious issues today. So, check out the VLC stream here. Looks like Brew is going to have to reconnect. So, more connection issues. Looking good for DT, though. I'm not so sure Vici can turn this one around. I mean, yeah, ROTK not looking so satisfied right now. Yeah, I mean, not a fan of the Morphling for pretty much every reason we see in this game. He just takes so much to come online. I mean, the Morphling is really not a big factor right now. He has done a little bit of damage. He's 1-2-1, so he's been involved in more than half the kills that Vici have put onto the field, but it's just so little. This hero just doesn't seem to be worth it. Like, the amount of farm he needs to do so little. You can do so much more with other heroes on less farm. And this is like going to be back-to-back games where they just get run over before the Morphling even comes online. Total tower count right now is 6-1 in favor of DT, and they'll even take out this ancient stack here and snipe it from the Dire side. Now the Ag Scepter is up on Brew, and oh god, now he can just do the double rotation. All of his abilities will be found on the Spirits, and DT, they'll just keep the pressure on. I mean, they have Roche, they killed Roche, they have the Aegis. There's kind of no reason to be passive here. It's not going to be too easy for them to break the high ground, but they might try for it. All they need is one pick off from anyone from Vici, and they can make it happen. I mean, look at that net worth chart. Right now, there are 5 members of DT in the top 6 positions. Morphling is the only one with decent farm. Yeah. They'll press forward. Centaur ultimate coming up in just about 5 seconds. They force out the glyph right away, just with creeps. And now DT, they'll back out a little bit. Going to play it a bit more passively while they wait for the rotation of cooldowns. Necronomicon units will get cleaned up, but they do a good bit of damage to the tier 3 tower. Morphling pressuring the top tier 2. Still pretty far off that E-Blade. And here we go. Air hops forward. Thunderclap pops the ultimate. A defensive Centaur ultimate. Just creating some space here while they finish off this tower. Luna pops the BKB and just straight right-clicks down the tower. Tier 3 falls. Morphling. He'll be forced to come back. Aegis still available for the Brew. And, oh, wow. Just such an easy fight there for DT. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They used the Brew to zone them out. They focused the tower. They stopped Morphling from pushing the tier 2 here in the top lane. And then they forced him to TP back. And now Sylar, he farms up some creep waves. But not ideal for the Morphling there. And now DT, 15,000 gold, 8,000 experience. That was just so easy. All they had to burn was a Brew ultimate to make that happen. And they still have the Aegis. And they'll have it for another... No, they'll have it for a while. Yeah, they've got another 3 minutes or so until that baby respawn or despawns. So they'll have at least one more Brew ultimate. It'll be up in about 60 seconds. So basically, as soon as the Brew ultimate comes up, they can go bottom. They'll still have the Aegis for another minute and a half, and then there won't be a glyph up for Vici. And that'll be their golden ticket just to easily take out these racks. Morphling replicates back to the base. Getting a little cheeky there with the waveform. But look at this. DT already grouping up about the bottom lane. They're ready for it. Centaur in the trees. No, I bet he's going to go a Desolator. They just want to push here. They want to end this in July. He'll get initiated upon. RTK blinks out of the trees. Even an epicenter here. They'll finish off Nature's Prophet. That ends his dominating streak, and that bonus gold will go to FY. That delays the push a little bit, but I mean, Brewmaster's ult isn't up yet. And I don't know. I don't think this is really going to harbor DT all that much. Nature's Prophet will be up within like 15 seconds or so by the time they need him, and he'll just TP into where they are. And exactly what I pointed out before that. No glyph. They still have the Aegis. They can just right-click the racks. Maybe Vici can hold, but now they don't have an epicenter.
Thanks.
Even if this Centaur blinks in, they're still spread out enough. And there's Air. He hops forward. They interrupt it. Now the right clicks onto the building. Super takes a lot of damage from that Wrath of Nature. Does throw the stun, but this should be a lane of racks here coming out for DT. Without the epicenter, this is a very difficult hold. No Stampede either. Oh, wow. 15 seconds. That'll be the end of the melee rack. And ranged will fall shortly after. Now, what did DT do? Do they press on or do they just back out? They will back out. Rotate towards the mid. They still have the Aegis for another... no, not very much longer. Just a couple seconds. So it will despawn, but now they've got racks. They are one lane away from pretty much securing the win here. 2 lanes of racks, and I really don't think Vici will be able to turn it around. But they're in trouble here. Will be a BKB for Nature's Prophet, though, not the Desolator. Okay. Oh, yeah. I misread the timer. I thought it was this little dot, so... They've got an opportunity. Still no glyph for another minute 15. And there's the stun from Alchemist. Goes on to Air right as he blinks in. Still has the Primal Split. He may save it for after the Aegis. And there's the E-Blade. Shotgun, just not enough damage. They'll mech him up. Positive earn, and he'll get the regen from this Aegis pretty quickly here. 30 seconds. Still, DT are in great shape right now. And there's the blink forward. He pops the ultimate. Aegis will despawn, and he's just trying to zone them out. Tier 3 tower already taking heavy damage. Stun out on the Rubik. Just not enough damage. And now Centaur, again, they stop him from blinking, getting that initiation. Sand King coming in with an epicenter. Doing a lot of damage, but the all-heal is there. And out comes XXD. He's got himself the Eclipse. And, yeah, it's going to be an easy 2-0. They'll press out of the base. But DT, I think they're going to seal this deal. They'll finish off Luna. Shotgun comes in, but now Sylar, he's got no escape. He does heal up a little bit. Pops those wand charges. Fenrir comes in with a freezing field. Does a little bit of damage. Ultimately still falls. Air still alive for now. Getting the crits in. Trying to finish off Sylar. Right clicks back and forth. What the fuck? What are the chances of missing that many in a row? I thought he was bugged out for a second there. That was just like hitting nobody. Oh, God. Well, now Vici. They don't. Oh, they do have their glyph back up. They might still be able to save the racks. Channeling the stun. Will connect on In July. Everyone's up. They will save this mid lane of racks. At least for now. Don't even need to burn the glyph. But DT still taking a very convincing team fight. Any buybacks used there? Yeah, Alchemist bought back. As did the Luna. So buybacks on both sides. Just one apiece.
Uproot and after them.
All of Vici's heroes have now respawned. Yeah. Yeah, you were right. BKB on the Furion. Interesting. Oh, man, a double damage rune on the Brewmaster. He'll have his ultimate now in 15 seconds. He's close to his BKB. So there'll be a little... Oh, wait, no, he's not. Never mind. He doesn't have the Mithril Hammer yet. Or does he? Where are you, Courier? Nope, he does not. So, might not wait for that, but we'll see. Chen, now with the Force Staff. And In July, yep, he's just got that level 3 Necro book into BKB. How you doing, Luna? And that's a Yasha into Ultimate Orb. So the Lunar is looking good. Yeah, he's really close to the Manta as well. Nope, they missed the stack, but that's okay. Couldn't have grabbed it anyway. They'll scout out Roche. They know the timer is among them. And, well... Oh, a bit on the road. They can wait for Roche if they want. I mean, only a minute and a half. It's one of those. They can just wait for the Roche because then they either force Vici to fight in the pit where DT will have an advantage, or they can just get the Aegis. And then once they have it, it just makes for such an easy push. I think they could break this last lane of racks without the Aegis, but the Aegis just makes it so much easier. So it's one of those, why take unnecessary risk when you only have to wait another minute? They have the carry edge anyway, so even if this game goes longer, I mean, DT are just fine. This Luna's fat as hell. She's number 2 on net worth and way ahead of, I mean, this Alchemist, I guess he'll eventually carry, but I mean, look at his net worth. He's down near the supports. He's number 8 overall. He's got a mech. I mean, he hits for shit. He hits like wet tissue paper. You might as well just trade in those weapons and turn them into wet noodles. He tickles. So, they're okay. They can afford to wait for Roche. And he'll be up in less than 30 seconds now. And they're gearing up for it. You can tell DT. They're just posturing around the pit. They know he'll be coming up in any moment. And they just want to be ready for it. Exactly the right way to play this. But maybe they'll just give up on it. Nature's Prophet ports mid. They make some Luna illusions here. Yeah, a Manta and an illusion rune. Yep, now there is a glyph available. Ranged Rax will stay alive for now. Brew just hops straight in. Again, zoning out ROTK, not giving him the opening to try and initiate, and that'll be the end of the Ranged Rax here. Melee will fall shortly after. Glyph's already been popped. Super in the front line. And does have himself that Chemical Rage on. In July, just BKBs wants to finish the Rax. That'll be 2 lanes of Rax down, and now DT. They can just back out. Probably secure Roche. They still have their big cooldowns available, except for the Primal Split. And, oh, Nature's Prophet gets caught. There's the shotgun, but the all-heal comes. Morphling gets obliterated. Eclipse coming out. Alchemist falls. That'll be a Dead Crystal Maiden. And, yeah, this is the GG. There it is. Vici will tap out. And DT will make it a 1-for-1 in this best-of-2 series. Well played. Yeah, Roland comes out ahead once again. Good predictions here. And DT looking very good in game number 2 of this series. 24-5, 29 minutes of gameplay. Very convincing win. And you see DT, they're all smiles. And, yeah, Vici not looking very amused. Rightfully so. It was a pretty disappointing game, but the Morphling, he's still the weak link in my opinion. I don't know why these teams keep running this Morphling like that. They keep getting so far behind before they can even really do anything with him. He barely came online by the end, but still wasn't enough. So that wraps up our second best of 2 series for tonight. We've got 2 more games coming, and the last one will be Newbie versus DT. So probably the well, that's pretty heavily in favor of Newbie here. So we'll see if DT can carry some of this momentum into this last series, or if it'll be a quick 2-0 from Newbie. But we will have another short break. I am Zyori, solo casting for tonight. It's about 5 a.m. here on the Pacific Coast, and we'll have a short break, and our last series coming up after this. Thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Summit. Check out Star Ladder during the downtime.